My name is Noor Azmira. I am from FIP Group C. Okay, today I'm going to present roughly about my action research report. Okay, the title of my action research report is Increasing Student Participation in English Language Class with the Use of Technology as Teaching Aids. The abstract of this study is the purpose of the study is to investigate the strategy or method that can be used by the teacher to increase the student participation in the English teaching and learning class. Okay, the method that used to overcome this problem is by using the technology as teaching aid in the class. Okay, the action research design will be used by the researcher to obtain and collect data for the study. Okay, there are 16 Form 4 students that will be involved in this study. Okay, the data collection technique that are used in this study is classroom observation, interview and document analysis. Then the data collected will be analyzed with the thematic analysis. Okay, the research purpose of the study is to investigate the method that should be used to increase student participation during the English language class with the use of technology as a teaching aid. Okay, next, the research objective is there are two research objectives. The first one is to suggest the method to be adapted in the English language class to increase student participation in the English language class. Okay, the second one is to study if the student will fully participate in the English language class as a result of using technology as a teaching aid in the class. Okay, next. The problem statement of this study is the teacher encountered a problem in attracting students to learn English language in the class. Okay, there are initiatives such as the integration of technology in class to attract the student attention to learn the English language should be implemented in the class as to foster the learning process to happen. Therefore, in order to enhance the student participation in the English language class, it seems sensible to investigate and test out all the methods that have the potential to be adapted into teaching in order to find out which one works better for attracting students to participate in English language class. Okay, the research question is, there are two research questions in this study. Okay, the first one is, what type of technology should be used in the English language class? And the second one is, how to determine whether the student do participate or not when using technology as teaching aid in the English language class. Okay, the procedure of the study is, the action research model used in this research is by Kurt Lewin models 1946. There are 4 stages in this action research model. The first one is plan, and then action, next observe, and lastly reflect. Okay, the next one is data collection technique. As I mentioned before, there are 3 data collection techniques that have been used in this study. The first one is classroom observation. The focus of this data collection technique was more on the courses conducted and content before and after learning the English language with the use of technology as teaching aid. The second one is, beside that, it was also to observe the student behavior and participation when the technology integration was implemented into the English language class. Okay, the next data collection technique is interview. By collecting an interview, it will help the researcher in gaining legitimate and reliable facts based on the study question and goals. The semi-structured interviews are conducted on the teacher and a few students. Okay, the last data collection technique is document analysis. It was also known as systematic procedure for reviewing or evaluating documents such as printed and electronic. Therefore, the data required during document analysis will be examined and interpreted by the researcher in order to acquire meaning, knowledge, and develop empirical meaning. There were a variety of document forms that will be used in this study. Okay, the finding of the study is the use of technology in the English learning and teaching for the student in this era were really effective in improving their achievement in many aspects, especially when their contribution during the English class. This because the student more prefer auditory and visual learning from rather than same always learning such as traditional classroom. The bigger contribution of the technology used in English class to the student were it had made them more focused and increased their participation in the class. Okay, the challenge that I face in this study is I'm having a hard time in choosing a suitable topic for my action research topic. I have found and read at least 10 articles that related to the chosen topic for me to start writing the action research report. I do not know the format of writing the proper action research report. It is a bit hard for me to complete the action research report only through the virtual without the face-to-face consultation session with the lecturer due to MCO. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello and good day to Doctor. I am Aina Nabihah and my topic of action research is improving teacher strategies of classroom questioning to stimulate responses in ESL classroom. Now, I will start my presentation with the abstract. So, the purpose of this study is to investigate the method that can be used to stimulate students' responses in ESL classroom. The use of classroom questioning strategies is the possible method to be conducted in this study. The action research is designed through this study with the cycle of planning, acting, observing, and reflecting to collect the data. The data will be collected through classroom observation, interview, and questionnaire. Then the data will be analyzed to get the findings. So the research purposes is to investigate the methods that can be used to improve teachers' technique of classroom questioning to stimulate responses in ESL classroom. And then the purpose of this study is to adapt the best method found to the teaching and learning practice in ESL classroom. So the research objectives is to propose the best method to be adapted in the ESL classroom to stimulate the students' responses and to observe if the students' responses can be stimulated if the teacher used the classroom questioning strategies in ESL classroom. The problem statement is due to lacking of students' participation in the classroom has resulted to the ineffectiveness of teaching and learning process whereby the objectives of the lesson are partially attained by both teachers and the students. And these problems is viewed as a significant issues arising in ESL classroom, and the initiative should be instigated to help the teacher improving the technique of questioning to stimulate the students' responses and participation in the classroom. So the research questions, there are two research questions, which are the first one is what questioning strategies can be used by the teachers to stimulate responses in classroom, and how do the teachers' classroom questioning can enhance students' responses. So the procedure of this study is with the use of Chemist and McTaggart model in 1988, whereby this study has included the cycle of plan, act, observe, and reflect, and the data collection is With the use of instruments such as audio-video recording, classroom sheets, and transcription, and the methods are classroom observation, interview, and questionnaire. So the findings for this action research is the strategies that can be used to improve classroom question. The strategies that can be used to improve students' responses is the use of rephrasing, simplification, repetition, and decomposition. The challenges that I encountered to finish my action research is it is quite difficult to find for the possible solution of my problem, as I need to read the articles for many times to support my findings, and I need to redo my action research when I do not find the supporting articles regarding the topic. Thus, I have to change the whole study, and it is quite difficult to finish the study when I could not find for the supporting information to support my topic. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Noor Amirah Afrina and I'm going to explain my work for a final year project. My FYP mini project focused on strategies to reduce students' anxiety to participate in ESL classroom. The problem was identified during my PPG2 practice, where a class of 27 students displayed reluctance in participating in the classroom. The students show anxiety through reluctance to participate in the classroom, broken sentences, and also hesitation while presenting. The first research objective that I used while conducting the study is to find the reasons behind students' anxiety to participate in the ESL classroom. The second research objective is to propose strategies to overcome anxiety faced by the ESL student. Two research questions that I used in my study is: 1. What are the reasons behind students' anxiety to participate in ESL classroom? And also, what are the strategies proposed by ESL teachers to overcome ESL learners' anxiety? The method that I use in my study is action research. Action research is a cyclic process of plan, act, observe, and reflection. Moving on to the findings of the study. For the first research question, what are the reasons behind students' anxiety to participate in ESL classroom? The researcher found 3 factors that majorly impact the students. The first factor is linguistic and psychological factor. The second factor, individual related factor, and also socio-cultural factor. For the first factor, linguistic and psychological factor, there are 3 sub-reasons found. The first is classroom procedure, the role of the teacher, and also linguistic difficulties. For second factor, individual related factor, most of the students found the lack of motivation are the reasons behind their anxiety. And for the third one, socio-cultural factor, it is found that unsupported environment and also lack of exposure in English has resulted in students' anxiety to participate in ESL classroom. Moving on to the second research question, what are the strategies proposed by ESL teachers to overcome ESL learners' anxiety? There are 3 proposed strategies. The first one is 4-3-2 technique. This technique is designed by Keith Morris, where the students required to give the same talk to 3 different listeners. The first talk, the students need to talk about the topic for 4 minutes, the second talk for 3 minutes, and the third talk for 2 minutes. The second strategy proposed is 3-stage model by Willis. 3-stage model consists of input stage, rehearsal stage, and performance stage. In input stage, the students will be given example of good model of language and also ample knowledge on the topic. The second stage, rehearsal stage, the students will be grouped into smaller groups for them to practice among each other and to do peer correction. And on the last stage, performance stage, the students need to come in front of the class and deliver their works. The third proposed strategy is collaborative learning. Collaborative learning is a classroom activity where the teacher divided the students into smaller groups which consist of mixed level students. Through this activity, the students will be more active in delivering their opinions, have good communications with their friends, and also have enough attention from their group mates to correct their mistakes. Next, I'm going to move to challenges that I faced while finishing the project. The first challenge that I faced is difficulty to find other study to support my findings. Even though there are a lot of study that talk about the anxiety faced by students in ESL classroom, there are not a lot of study that specifically talk how to overcome it. Next is the limitation of the study. The study was supposed to be done and tested on actual students. The inability to do so has created problems in writing the findings. Lastly, I'm going to talk about things that I have learned while finishing the study. First one is the importance of action research in the classroom. Action research enables the teacher to study the problem faced by the students and trying out several ways to overcome it. This is important as it helps the students to learn better. The second takeaway that I can get by conducting the study is the importance of knowing how to write a good research paper. Before I was able to write a research paper, I must read a lot of it. Through my reading, I have gained not only knowledge on how to write a research paper, but also on my pedagogical and also language knowledge. That is all from me. Thank you.